not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Caitlin Clark didn't hesitate to unmask her WNBA bullies. You'll be shocked to know that it's been just 2 months, and she's already made quite a few enemies. But don't think this is Caitlin's fault. These enemies are just jealous because she's outshining them all. Seriously, in just 2 months, she's taken the viewership of this sport from 40% to an astonishing 400%. Now, tell me, isn't it obvious that people would feel jealous of this dynamite? Yeah, it is. But Caitlin is no Cinderella anymore. She knows how to speak up for herself, and believe me, that was epic. When a sport's already packed with top players and a new perfect athlete comes along, who's going to be cool with that? Obviously, no one. And then you've got this girl, Caitlin Clark, who just started in May 2024, and now she's all over every news channel and headline, shining bright. Think is it easy for the big shots already there? Not a chance, man. Before her arrival, the league was gradually growing, but nothing compared to the explosive transformation we've witnessed recently. The viewership numbers tell the story best. From 2022 to 2023, the WNBA saw a 40% increase in viewership, a solid improvement. However, with Caitlin's debut, viewership skyrocketed by an astounding 400%. The surge in viewership isn't the only impressive figure. Ticket sales have also seen a dramatic rise. In 2023, ticket sales increased by 16% from the previous year, which was already a positive sign. But in 2024, ticket sales soared by 93%, an unprecedented growth rate that any sports league would envy. Caitlin Clark's presence has single-handedly accelerated the WNBA's growth trajectory by several years. Without her, it might have taken until 2029 or 2030 to reach the levels we're seeing today. Economically, Caitlin's influence can't be overstated. She has done in a few weeks what would have taken the league 5 years to achieve. This rapid growth translates to more revenue, better marketing opportunities, and increased profitability for the WNBA. Sponsors and advertisers are now more interested in partnering with the league, knowing that they can reach a wider and more engaged audience. But beyond the numbers, Caitlin Clark has become the ambassador and face of the WNBA. Her presence on the court and in the media has brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball. For the first time in a long while, the WNBA has a superstar who not only draws crowds, but also generates discussions among casual sports fans. Caitlin has made women's basketball more marketable and profitable, much like how Michael Jordan revolutionized the NBA in the early 90s. Caitlin's impact extends beyond just filling seats and boosting ratings. She represents a new era for the WNBA, one where the league can confidently stand alongside other major sports leagues. Her influence is not limited to her extraordinary skills on the court, but also her ability to connect with fans and inspire the next generation of athletes. She's become a symbol of what's possible in women's sports, proving that with the right talent and charisma, the WNBA can achieve remarkable success. As an ambassador, Caitlin's role is crucial. She bridges the gap between the WNBA and potential new fans, drawing in those who might not have paid attention to women's basketball before. Her relatable persona and genuine passion for the game make her a perfect representative for the league. Through interviews, social media, and public appearances, she continually promotes the WNBA, bringing more visibility and credibility to women's basketball. But Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom in the WNBA hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. Nope, she's been catching some serious heat, especially from some of the league's veterans. Take Lynette Woodard, for example.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role.
She's a legend in women's basketball, having played for Kentucky from 1977 to 1981 and holding the all-time leading scorer record with a whopping 3,649 points. That record stood tall for 43 years until Caitlin came along and smashed it in February 2024. Now, you'd think Woodard might give a nod to Caitlin's insane achievement, right? Wrong. Instead, Woodard's reaction was less congrats and more get off my lawn. She came out with some pretty salty comments, basically saying her record couldn't be broken because, well, it just couldn't. She even threw in a line about men's basketballs and two-point shots, suggesting Caitlin's record wasn't as legit because the game's changed since Woodard's day. Classic case of the grumpy old guard not wanting to pass the torch. This attitude isn't just about one bitter record holder, though. It's a bigger issue among some of the WNBA's older stars who seem to have a hard time letting go of their glory days. Sure, Woodard played in a different era with its own challenges, but the game evolves. Caitlin's ability to shine under the current rules should be celebrated, not shrugged off. Funny thing is, Caitlin's record-breaking spree has actually brought Woodard's name back into the spotlight, giving her some of the attention she claims Caitlin's stealing. And then there's Cheryl Swoops, another WNBA legend who's had some choice words about Caitlin. Swoops is known for her skills and competitive spirit, but she's been pretty skeptical about Caitlin's success. She argued that Caitlin only broke records because she played more games than the old record holders. Sounds fair, until you realize Caitlin actually played fewer games than Kelsey Plum, who set the previous record. Plum took 139 games, while Caitlin did it in just 126. Oops, Swoops. Swoops didn't stop there, though. She claimed Caitlin probably takes about 40 shots a game, hinting that her scoring stats were bloated. Reality check. Caitlin averages 22.3 shots per game, according to ESPN, which is right in line with other top scorers. Swoops' exaggerations show that maybe her criticism isn't as much about facts as it is about personal bias. This kind of jealousy and resistance from established stars isn't new in sports, but it's pretty pronounced here because of Caitlin's huge impact on the WNBA's popularity. She's drawing massive crowds and boosting viewership like never before, and that kind of spotlight can make some of the old guard feel a bit left out, but it's not all doom and gloom. Plenty of people in the WNBA community are thrilled about Caitlin's success. She's bringing tons of positive attention to women's basketball and paving the way for future stars. The backlash she's facing just highlights the challenges of breaking new ground. Caitlin's journey is about more than just her talent on the court. It's about resilience and rising above the haters. No doubt, Lynette Woodard and Cheryl Swoops are undeniably legends in women's basketball. But comparing their careers to Caitlin Clark's rise, it's clear the game has seriously evolved. Caitlin, who smashed Woodard's scoring record in February 2024, plays in an era where the three-point line is a big deal. This has Woodard a bit salty, claiming her record was untouchable because Caitlin's success wouldn't have happened under the old rules. But come on, just because the game's different now doesn't mean Caitlin's achievements are any less impressive. Plus, Caitlin's facing stiffer competition and a way faster-paced game than Woodard did back in the late 70s and early 80s. Now, Swoops' criticism is a bit more nuanced, but still kinda resistant to change. She's been vocal about how it's supposedly unfair that Caitlin broke records thanks to a longer playing season. Swoops argued that Caitlin broke Kelsey Plum's scoring record by playing more games. Swoops played during the birth of the WNBA in 1996, which was huge, but the game's pace and style have continued to evolve. Today's athletes benefit from better training, nutrition, and strategies. Some Hall of Famers' reluctance to embrace these changes isn't unique to women's basketball. In many sports, legends often struggle to accept advancements and new stars. This resistance can come from nostalgia or reluctance to see their records surpassed. Despite the criticisms, Caitlin continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in women's basketball. And don't think the drama ends with Woodard and Swoops. Nope, there's another star at the top of this jealousy list. Angel Reese from LSU. Even after leading her team to victory over Caitlin's Iowa in the national championship, Reese hasn't been shy about voicing her frustrations. She's positioned herself as the bad guy in all this, claiming Caitlin's spotlight is overshadowing her own achievements. Reese has said things like, "So many people are watching women's basketball right now. It's not just because of one person, it's because of me too."
I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas. Like,
Reese's comments reveal this complex mix of envy and competition. She's acknowledging the boom in viewership and attention, but feels sidelined by the Caitlyn craze. When she says, "I'll take the bad guy role. If I want to be that, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball? It's because of me too."
Take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game.
You can almost feel the resentment. She wants her share of the spotlight, and it's totally understandable, but it also shows just how competitive things can get in the league. And then there's the money issue, which adds a whole other layer to this drama. Lexi Brown's critique of Ice Cube's $5 million offer to Caitlyn for playing in the Big Three really highlights the financial struggles many established WNBA players face.
You open the article and you see what he said was his reasoning. He wanted to provide more opportunities for WNBA players and provide opportunities to not go overseas. So you offered the contract to a player who's not yet even in the WNBA. Big Three does not happen during overseas season.
Brown, who's been grinding in the league for years, took to social media to question the fairness of offering such a huge deal to someone who hasn't even played in the WNBA yet. She pointed out that the Big Three's season doesn't clash with overseas commitments, which many WNBA players rely on for extra income. Brown's frustration is totally rooted in the harsh financial realities of pro women's basketball. The average WNBA salary is way lower than what the guys in the NBA are making. For instance, the average WNBA salary in 2024 was around $130,000. Compare that to the multi-million-dollar contracts in the NBA, and it's a joke. Brown, despite being a seasoned player, reportedly makes around $75,000 a year from her WNBA contract. That's tough.
Caitlyn, accept it. Accept it. You got 8 games. 8 games, accept that $5 million, and then into the W.
The huge contrast between Caitlyn's lucrative opportunities and the earnings of veterans like Brown really underscores the need for better financial opportunities in the WNBA. Caitlyn's $5 million offer for just 8 games in the Big Three is more than what most WNBA players will see in their entire careers. The WNBA's financial struggles are compounded by the league's limited revenue streams. Unlike the NBA, with its massive TV deals, sponsorships, and merchandise sales, the WNBA's revenue is relatively modest. This financial gap directly impacts players' salaries and their overall earning potential. For many players, chasing the dream of playing professional basketball means significant financial sacrifices, a reality that often gets overlooked in the broader conversation about gender equity in sports. The media has been a major player in shaping how the world sees Caitlyn Clark, both good and bad. Ever since she started making waves, the coverage has been non-stop, with headlines screaming about her amazing performances and record-smashing feats. This non-stop attention has not only made Caitlyn a household name, but also cranked up the jealousy and criticism from her fellow players. Media outlets hold a lot of power in how athletes are perceived. In Caitlyn's case, the constant spotlight has painted her as the face of the WNBA's new era. Every article and news segment about her skills and contributions boosts her status, but it also stirs up some serious envy from others who feel like they're being overshadowed. The media's role in magnifying this jealousy and criticism is pretty clear. Remember when Lynette Woodard made those controversial comments about Caitlyn breaking her scoring record? The media pounced on it, spreading the story far and wide. And Cheryl Swoop's false claims about Caitlyn's game stats? Same deal. The media coverage of these reactions only intensifies the scrutiny on Caitlyn, making the negativity louder and the rivalries fiercer. Caitlyn's media presence today is a whole different beast compared to past WNBA stars. Players like Lisa Leslie and Diana Taurasi had their share of attention, but the media landscape has evolved. Now, with social media and 24/7 news cycles, athletes are under the microscope constantly. Caitlin's every move, on and off the court, is documented and dissected, making her one of the most visible figures in women's basketball. This kind of exposure is a double-edged sword. On the bright side, all this media attention brings perks like endorsement deals, a growing fan base, and more clout in the sport. But it also comes with intense pressure and the ever-present risk of backlash. Any misstep can turn into a major headline, and public criticism can blow up overnight. Despite these challenges, Caitlin has shown she's made of tough stuff. Her stats are impressive, averaging 16.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1.4 steals per game as of July 2024. These numbers showcase her versatility and make her a top contender for Rookie of the Year. Winning Rookie of the Year would be a huge milestone for Caitlin. It would validate her hard work and put her in the same league as past winners like Breanna Stewart and Aja Wilson. This recognition would boost her marketability and open doors to even more endorsement deals and partnerships. So what do you think? Does Caitlin deserve all this hate from the veterans? She's just doing what she was born to do. And whether they support her or not, she's killing it out there. If you're a Caitlin Clark fan, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up.